3 years. The opening tap tossed, and it's won by BYU as we are underway. Kennard Davis Jr. the lead for A.J. DiBonsa.
And Johnson has the big guy right here. He can shoot over people, but he will be able to pass out of double teams.
Richie Saunders in and out. Keba Keita couldn't win it. Taken in by the Wildcats. Haggerty on the run.
Yeah, here comes that transition action. They look for threes quickly.
Johnson off target. Loose ball. Karams out of bounds. BYU ball. What are the styles of these teams?
Well, that first set sets the tone for Kansas State. They want to come up and really push the action as quickly as possible. The other side, BYU's not afraid. You know, they score in just under 90 points a game, as I mentioned before. They will look to go also.
Saunders on the drive, kick corner. Ball moves a lot. Robert Wright III, the import from Baylor, puts it home.
Yeah, that's where he's very, very difficult. Quick with the basketball, will break people down. And scoring at around 16 a game with 5 assists.
Haggerty, the probing dribble, feed to Manning. A local product has it poked away by Saunders. DiBonsa has it ripped away by Haggerty. Ties it up.
Haggerty just stays on the play, doesn't he? Made up for that turnover down one end. Gives the fans a little bit of a lift early on here.
BYU's first game in a dozen days. Could there be some rust?
Yeah, another deflection right there.
The kick, DiBonsa wide open. Little flat miss.
Yeah, I think that's the one they want him to shoot. He shoots 33% from long range, so he's 11 for 34 on the year right now. And take a look at this steal right in the middle of the floor right there. And nobody behind, open floor at half court, you get an easy one. That's the transition that they like.
BYU only gives it away 10 times a game. They're one of the better teams in the Big 12 and the country in that regard. Spread the floor so beautifully. DiBonsa. Wright can score and pass. Part of a top-scoring trio in the country.
It's a man-to-man, but it's a flat man-to-man where they're not aggressively attacking the perimeter.
Davis in and out. The rebound to Manning. That's why Manning first got minutes. Jerome Tang said he wanted toughness and rebounding. His playing time is shot up.
They look for that three-point shot very often in their offensive sets. They keep the ball moving. They assist about 19 per game.
Johnson from deep. And the deflection on the rim to Wright. DiBonsa hanging and missing. Thought he got hit.
Yeah, nice play though by Johnson. Kept his defensive position pretty nicely just there. Went chest to chest with him.
Abdi Bashir, one of the elite shooters in the country.
Yeah, quick release too, so they will keep an eye on him. And they're switching out front with him also.
Haggerty, the dump, and the bucket. McGriff got inside on Saunders.
Nice deflection again. That's, I think, the third or fourth deflection that K-State has had already in early going of this game. But the hesitation, the drive, now watch, he reads the play, he brings two guys to him. On the right side of our screen there, no defensive help, and it was late, giving up the bucket.
Couple of subs for K-State. 7'2" Doreen Buka comes in, along with Moby Ike Garuka, and that's significant. Ike Garuka is an elite athlete. He shined to you in practice. He had been sidelined the last few games with nagging injuries.
Yeah, and he's a runner too, so watch him in transition, getting up and down the floor. Look at the way they're squeezing across though. The white shirts just collapsing into the middle of the floor.
And Wright buries the triple. BYU ahead by 1.
DiBonsa with the simple pass. He never really looks to be overly aggressive and selfish.
Johnson, a strong shooter. Flirted with a triple-double. Feed to Buka just off.
Yeah, just never got his balance. That last step by Buka just could not get the 2 feet down to go up and grab it easily.
Wright had the window, doesn't take the shot, tries to drive and lost it off his own leg. That was the length of Ike Garuka.
Yeah, and I think Johnson may have gotten away with a little bit of a reach in just then, but it did go off his leg. It goes the other way.
Now Kansas State up the floor and some pressure here on ball from BYU. Making Haggerty work.
He's pretty good with the ball, though. It didn't affect him that trip. Here's the shooter.
Bashir.
The Monmouth product, right?
Top 10 in the country, dropping it from deep. Saunders, end-line probe, grain of the lane giveaway.
Layup if they hurry.
Wildcats. Yep. Haggerty.
Oh, they're getting some mileage off this turnovers.
Three ball, Davis off, weak side. Saunders has it ripped away and out of bounds.
So here's the shooter. You're a little bit late on him, even though he's on the right side of his body. Bashir still gets that off in a hurry, and here's that quick release pass. Nothing you can do. It's wide open. That's what they really look to do, these guards for Kansas State. Love to get out in transition and pick up the easy buckets. As I mentioned before, they get 17 points per game in transition.
There's a lot of length and height out there for Kansas State right now. Buka makes a difference.
This guy can jump over people.
And a foul. DiBonsa is excellent getting to the line. We'll step away. Couple of foul shots when we're back. The pressure of Kansas State. The lead on number 10, BYU.
So for
And when they get that, there's usually a transition opportunity where guys start to lean towards the half court and get down there in a hurry. But I think one of the things they're forcing BYU to do is shoot that ball a little quickly from the outside. I might look to the post a little bit more frequently if I'm BYU, not to give up these transition buckets, to slow it down a little bit.
A foul went to Doreen Buka, his first. Free throw a make for A.J. DiBonsa, who gets to the line a lot. Second most free throw takes and makes in the Big 12.
Yeah, just under 80%. It's 77% as a free throw shooter, so he gets there as a big guy and makes them.
Hits them both here, and now it's Kansas State ball. Let's see, after each team took a breath, how they look. Mihailo Bošković is in for BYU, along with Abdullah Ahmed, who spent the last 2 years playing in the G League for the Westchester Knicks. Only his second game for BYU, wearing 34.
BYU challenging a little bit more aggressively at the perimeter.
Bashir three ball, long rebound to Haggerty. Rhythm Johnson, right to the rim, opposite Bashir. Nice lead for Buka, hesitates, surrounded, hounded, puts it up, a foul on the floor.
Going to be on the floor, yeah. That was a terrific run around the floor by Bashir just then to help a teammate out who was in big time trouble on the left side to find the spot on the right.
Foul to Bošković, his first. BYU fouls the least in the Big 12. Buka couldn't handle, but he pokes it.
You catch that when you get a layup.
And Bashir able to sidestep and drop. I mean, he is automatic.
Yeah, but then you miss one from underneath, but you turn a two potential into three.
DiBonsa, that looked easy.
Yeah, there's the drive. Get that ball in a little bit closer. He is so quick with the basketball. I'd also like to see them post him up about 10 feet from the bucket where he's very effective.
Haggerty against DiBonsa. We had heard that could happen some. Nice spin. Ike Garuka rushed it a bit. Haggerty finds it, puts it up, and he draws a foul. That's what he does very well as well.
Buka then a factor also on the offensive glass, kicking that one out again for the second time.
Now that foul will go on DiBonsa. The first one's not a big deal, but a second could be.
Yeah, well, just under 15 minutes to go. First half. He doesn't foul a whole lot, though. And it's not because he's not playing great defense.
Hit every highlight with CBS Sports HQ, streaming free 24/7. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. Well, notable sub for Kansas State here. It's the first minutes of the game for David Castillo, who briefly started when they flirted with a four-guard lineup and then asked Jerome Tang to come back off the bench. He has been excellent.
He will light it up, but then when they play that, he's also a runner, kind of like Haggerty in terms of getting up and down the floor. A little free home bounce just then on the free throw. A little bit of pressure out front.
DiBonsa using the screen of Ahmed. Floats it to him, disrupted by McGriff. Out of bounds.
Great rotation by McGriff just then. You notice also the DiBonsa's out front. They're putting pressure on him. Castillo that trip, not allowing an easy, clean pass. Well defended with two guys with the squeeze.
Taking a bite out of Dimes. 17 to shoot. Manning fronts. And the lob to DiBonsa, guarded by Bashir.
See how they're pushing him out just a little bit, but he'll get to this point and jump right over you. You can't stop that. You can't do anything about it. He's so good with his size. It was one of the things that Kevin Young mentioned about him, is that he has that ability to get to a spot, understand his size, and no one's going to block that shot.
Haggerty coughs it up, loose on the deck. On his keister, won by Davis. DiBonsa.
Here's a shooter.
Saunders got it.
Yep. Saunders just knows how to run the floor. Flies to the left wing in the left corner on that trip, recognizing that he's going to be wide open with the shot in the transition. Look at him defending Bashir, who doesn't drive it that much.
The left hand, the high kiss.
And Bashir has taken 126 shots coming into this game, and 102 of them have been from the three-point line.
Saunders feeling it, and a heat check moment, and ripped in by McGriff.
So with those numbers, Bashir, you better find him on the perimeter.
Haggerty could feel the double. Castillo trying to get in rhythm.
Pretty.
Just shook the big, and Ahmed.
Yeah, he threw that left shoulder towards the middle of the floor. The best way to get it to the glass is to go underhand with it. Oh, Jerome Tang almost on the floor over there.
Haggerty took it away. Right to the rim.
Whoa.
Rejected by Ahmed. Bashir shovel. Castillo clipped by Davis. Ahmed's got it.
Look
Davis
up.
ahead.
Oh, look up, you got a layup.
Bošković the Euro, and one.
They get something out of it, but they also had a layup down the other end, too. Good running effort just then by Davis. Nice activity here, a little bit delay. Sometimes the first guy slows you down, and the second guy gets credit for the block. And what do? They push the ball down. Big step, no defensive positioning at all, and that's the new continuation play in the NCAA.
Shades of the pros. It affects heavily end-to-half, end-of-game situations. You're thinking about hitting someone in the act of a long shot. So Bošković at the line. Career 82% free throw shooter. Converts the and one. It's also the return of Robert Wright III. He had a bit of a breather on the bench. So the main point guard for BYU is back. Haggerty, elbow J, short.
I think they got to do a better job of coming off that hedge screen. Uh-oh, watch out. Oh, he gets hit too for the end one.
DiBanza creating magic out there, and that's the fear factor of his ability to pass, right?
Well, and the way he hesitates, you see, he hesitates, you're right, he fakes a little bit of a pass, but he is so talented. Look where he starts. He starts from right about the free throw line to go into his move. Boy, there's just talent rolling in every aspect of his game.
Foul to Taj Manning is his first. So 3 fouls on Kansas State, 2 on BYU.
Yeah, if he didn't get bumped off his rhythm just then, John, remember I said in the open, we'll see something probably spectacular from him. That could have been it, but we'll wait and see.
BYU's first lead since it was 5-4. Castillo given the space, a miss, weak side Keita.
Yeah, that high side screen is working for them. They're going to hit a couple of those shots. They've missed the last 2, but BYU has to come out and defend that a little quicker and better.
Saunders, crisp perimeter passing. Weak side won by Johnson.
Yeah, he's got the traditional type jumper where he brings it up over his head. A lot of guys now are pushing it from their chest to make that long-range shot.
Opposite, Manning pops a 3, in and out. McGriff had it, knocked by Keita out of bounds. BYU bench erupts, believing last touch to K-State.
Hard to tell right there. Might have been Keita, don't you think, with that left hand just at the very end. Bench over there turned quiet awfully quickly. Good look.
Opposite corner. In and out, and it pinballs to Saunders. Right. DiBanza wants it. He's got Castillo. What a size mismatch. Brilliant pass opposite. Bošković, grain to the lane, giveaway.
Maybe one too many passes with the talent they have on this team, but they're unselfish.
C.J. Jones.
He bobbled that ball too. Couldn't get that shot up, Jones, with that drive to the basket.
DiBanza wide open.
Don't let him get his rhythm. And he's starting to pick it up just a touch with 12 early points on 4 of 6 shooting.
It's a 9-0 run for the number 10 ranked team of the country.
Nice pace to this game. I think just about the way each coach wants to. Look at the action with the ball here. Castillo.
Johnson. Castillo 9 to shoot. Trying to fight through. High kiss make. Tough shot.
Oh, and there was a lot of traffic there, too, with his own teammate and also 2 BYU players. The way he can handle the ball as a point guard at 6'9" out front.
Oh, the old school reverse and a follow. Keita slams it home.
Only 5 total fouls in this first half so far. which means they're going to foul right now. But
broadcaster shakes
there you go.
undefeated. That'll be Cada.
You can't make this stuff up, John. You just can't. But the pace has been good. To my point there, the 6th foul called. But they go up and down. Nice rhythm. BYU finally get them in terms of their rhythm at the offensive end. And Cada will work that offensive glass. He's done a terrific job looking for opportunities to finish things off. Well done by the big guy.
BYU's first true road game of the year. They had been tied for the most neutral floor games in the country, but this is their first action in another team's building.
Look at the way they're guarding Bashir. They're just going to try to stay on his hip as he goes across screens. Good
Nice backdoor.
Yep.
Off the heel for Ike Garuka. Weak side one by Cada.
A little quick on that shot. Could have come down, maybe challenged the bigs a little.
Saunders feeds right. Probing dribble. Saunders shaping up, gets fed. Ike Garuka closing out. Physical with him. Hang and miss, a little short. Out of bounds.
Yeah, I think Wright's going to have to take that 3-point shot. Looks like they're giving him that. He shoots it at 45%. And speaking with Jerome Tang yesterday, he just knew this game was going to go up and down. I loved his line, too, and I said, what we said to him, what's the kind of pace do you think? Do you think it's going to be in the 80s? He said, yeah, I think it'll be in the 80s, but I hope they score in the 60s. Layup.
Haggerty is only their second make in their last 10 tries from the field, and despite that drought, it's a one-possession game.
Yeah, that's what I was speaking about a minute and a half ago with they're not following the dribbler off those hedge screens out front.
Right miss, Haggerty's got it.
Look at the push again.
DeBonsa ready to sub back in. Haggerty right down the lane, draws the foul.
He's got great awareness coming down the floor. Watch this little bit of delay. Nobody steps in front of him, but they're giving him too much room with the way he can handle the basketball and how he can score, especially in transition and also in the half court. He's a little deceiving with his size also. He's 6'4" and uses it really well to get his shots off in traffic.
The foul went to Tyler Maruss, his first. So Haggerty at the line. Survivor 50 is coming to CBS. If you're not watching the greatest reality show on television, this is the season you can't miss. Light Your Torch, February 25th on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. Haggerty, the last 2 years, top 3 in the country in free throw takes and makes. He has lived at the line.
Just as out of score. In 85 career games coming into this one, he's scored over 1,700 points as they show a 1-2-2 right now. K-State, you know, they're going to try to throw some tricks at him to slow them down a bit. Interesting how he has the basketball. Look at him handle it.
DeBonsa coughs it up. It's another giveaway. Thought he got fouled. Johnson shielding on the run. Bashir pops a three. In and out.
Boy, every shot he takes looks good.
And it's Kansas State ball.
That one was pressured just a little bit for Bashir on the right side to change that call.
Doug Sermons came in and overruled our lead official. Worked his 10th Final Four last year. Had the title game last season.
Looked like it was off-white to me.
And here's that same pressure.
Yeah, why not? You're successful with it. They'll switch it up, though, but they got something out of it the last time. Notice the way he makes that left-handed pass as a right-handed player.
Maruss. All fired, weak side Haggerty.
They were looking for the breakout.
Johnson very skilled. Floats it up, little short.
See that second dribble just then? That's the one that frees him up in the lane, and he's shaking his head because that's a shot he usually makes.
DeBonsa trying to wrap around to the big body of Buka, knocks it out of bounds.
I think it was off his foot, Buka.
Is the pace as it's going favoring either team? What's your feel right now?
I think if you asked each of these coaches right now what they thought about the pace, I think they'd be both happy with where this pace is going. Especially K-State, I think. Jerome Tang is very happy in terms of, I think he'd like to be a little bit more efficient with his offense, but for the most part, I think both of them would say, yes, let's keep it at this pace.
He wanted a late sub as Manning come on for Ike Garuka. He'll front.
You're looking at the score right now, 25-24. What does it bring you to? Just about 80 to 85 points at the end of this game. Both teams like to score that amount. Wow.
DeBonsa got hit. Did you notice, by the way, Jerome Tang was literally straddling the corner. He had a foot on the end line and a foot on the sideline. And that is a point of emphasis for a sideline warning. He's been out there a few times.
Yeah, he almost got hit somebody about 4 minutes into this game, like bumped into them accidentally.
A.J. Devonsa, an outstanding talent, his conference opener in his freshman year, and his folks are here, his family into town as he misses at the line. His parents, Chelsea and Ace, his sisters, are here as well, soaking up the scene. Kansas State was on his recruiting list. He did speak with and take a visit with Jerome Tang. Castillo is back, Johnson is out. Jerome Tang said he's known him since he was in 7th grade.
And when you ask him, Jerome Tang and also Kevin Young, what type of kid is he, to just get to know him a little bit off the court? Both of them say just a fabulous kid, loves to learn, loves to work, loves to practice, and it's contagious with his BYU teammates.
He misses both there, though. Wildcats seeking the lead, poked free by Kennard.
Good no run out just then. Balance was there, K-State.
Wright slammed on the brakes, good up fake, and he buries it.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to before. He's got to look for his 15-footer or a little deeper 18-foot jump shot because they're falling back and squeezing the floor on him.
Haggerty coughs it up.
Got a layup if they hurry.
Devonsa threads the needle to Wright.
Whoa,
rejected away by Manning.
They found the right guy. There's a lob if they wanted to.
Haggerty, 3-ball, no. Cada. And here comes BYU. Steals are mounting on both sides. 2 subs lie in wait, including Ahmed. Kansas State, Haggerty to Bashir. Great pass. And he misses the layup.
He was anticipating that shot getting blocked. I think he had a layup on the right side.
Devonsa right at Buka. And a tie up for a jump. It'll go to K-State.
Well, you asked me about pace about a minute ago, and the pace has just picked up with the way they're going up and down. Welcome to the road.
Big 12. Make a strong argument, the strongest conference in America. Incredibly deep and with incredible weight up top. Kansas State's gone cold from the floor, missing 2 of its last 12. Bashir is their sharpshooter.
Yeah, look at the pressure on them. They're just sticking with it the whole time.
6 to shoot. Haggerty denied by Devonsa, goes opposite. Castillo has to put it up. The heave at the horn. Weak side, McGriff pokes it to Haggerty. Misses.
Well, the offensive glass was alive for them just then, even though they had to hurry that shot. He got it up there pretty quickly just then, Castillo. And I think there's a mismatch here. I think they could give him the ball 15 feet away and let him go to work. That's what I would be doing the whole time. They're going to put a mismatch on that with Castillo at 6'1". Devonsa will just eat that up with his ability to shoot the ball with confidence, knowing that it's not going to get blocked.
He's at 30 in back-to-back games. He's already got 14 to lead this one. Bashir from D. Fouled in the act of a 3. He'll have 3 free throws.
Yeah, that anxiety to get over that screen and try to recover defensively. But when you are on the left side of a right-handed shooter, watch, you're not going to get across to get to that ball. If you're on the right-hand side of a right-handed shooter, you have a little better chance of deflecting it. That's one right there with him trying to avoid fouls. I think that's a big mistake on his part to try to get to a spot where he probably knows he couldn't have gotten to.
Huge foul. It's the second on A.J. Devonsa. What do you do with him? Hollywood's biggest party is now bigger than ever. More stars, more glamour, more chaos. Nikki Glazer hosts the Golden Globes. Live CBS Sunday, January 11th, and streaming on Paramount+.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if they don't take him out of the game.
Saunders comes on, and he's in for Devonsa. So mark this moment, 6:27. It's a 3-point game.
I don't think you take a chance. I mean, he as we spoke about before, he doesn't foul a whole lot. So you have that going in your favor, but you just don't want to have a freaky type play, pick up his 3rd. And then when you climb into the second half, he starts the second half with 3. That's exactly where you don't want to be. So a nice decision here by Kevin Young to put him on the bench as they go zone right now.
Is that influenced by the absence of Devonsa?
Well, they know that he would fly into the middle of the floor.
Saunders goes middle, misses.
see them spread the floor in their transition. Pretty good defensive transition just then by BYU.
Bashir thought he got hit by Wright. Ricochets out of bounds off Kansas State. BYU ball up 2. Now, Kansas State has missed its last 7 from the field. Hasn't hit a field goal in almost 4.5 minutes.
Let's see what Jerome Tang decides to do here. Does he go back? Yeah, he's going back to man right now. So he's going to be content with switching it up a little bit. Make BYU guards think a bit.
Right, the hesitation. Bošković extra give. Saunders quick load. Got it.
That's a great unselfish play. That's one of the things that Kevin Young spoke about earlier in the day. We want to keep our numbers, the assist numbers up. That keeps everybody happy and engaged.
Haggerty drives on Ahmed, and he gets fouled.
Well, they have a 41% shooter sitting in the corner just waiting for it. Pretty good looking jump shot, from my estimation.
Saunders could certainly shoot it.
Yep.
He had a double-double when these teams met last year, a blowout win for BYU.
And what he does, too, is with his shooting ability now, he will also drive it, too. So he's just not, the end of his game doesn't stop with three-point shooting. He will drive it to the basket, but when he parks himself out there, you just have to recognize it and get to the defensively, and it opens up a seam and a lane to get to the basket.
Well, Haggerty doing most of his damage at the stripe. Misses Saunders, and
yeah, it might have been a hold by Manning just then.
He's got 2. And the team fouls are picking up now as well. So 5 on Kansas State, 6 on BYU. We're closing in on bonus. And Ike Garuka comes in for Manning.
Let's see what type of full court action they're showing right now. Looking like the 1-2-2. Maybe look for a trap if they can. Wright's a tough guy to trap. Real lot, good experience in this backcourt. Wright, Saunders. Watch out, folks. That was fan participation over there.
All hands on deck.
But what does it do? K-State gets them a little different look on the 1-2-2. Nice work by Jerome Tang on the side, calling the defense. And then all of a sudden they get a turnover. So they kind of played right into their hands with a careless, crazy pass across court.
It's already 8 turnovers for BYU, while Kansas State nearly 5 minutes without a bucket.
Good work defensively. Davis really defends.
Hard screen.
Oh, it sure was. Watch out. Oh, boy.
Bashir gives it away.
Looks like the fans better be paying attention. It's another one.
It does feel like there's an increased pressure on the Kansas State offense in the half court.
Yeah, and tip the hat to BYU because they're really coming out and challenging the guards.
Right. Nice no look. Ahmed, the unnecessary dribble.
Yeah.
Finds Saunders.
You put it down in traffic, you're going to be in trouble.
Davis.
Nice hands, beautiful.
Slapped away by McGriff. Bashir feels the double.
Yeah, look at the way they find him in the open floor. They don't want to take any chances with him.
Bashir, the probing dribble, rejected by Ahmed. And a foul, Ike Garuka trying to knock it away, fouled Wright.
Remember, Bashir doesn't go to the basket all that much. He tries that underhand flip, but he's not going towards the basket. Notice where he's going. He's going almost off the floor. If you're going to make that shot, you got to turn those shoulders. It's a quicker shot to the glass, but defensively well defined in terms of paying attention to the dribbler going towards the basket by Ahmed.
6 fouls on each side. Buka's back, so it's bonus rest of the way for both teams. Do you bring Dibonsa back in? If so, why and when?
I would not. With a 4-point lead, I'd leave him right where he is. Too much risk. And the reward isn't there. Obviously, I'm saying you're taking one of the best players in the country, and I'm saying not putting him in the game. I just wouldn't take the risk on the road, especially with a 4-point lead.
Right on the spin. Buka picks him up. Misses heel. Davis has it. Saunders.
That's the middle of the floor.
Pop. Drain it.
Saunders really patient just then. Might have been a deflection. He bobbled it for a second, but regrouped very nicely.
Loose and won by Saunders. Chance for numbers for BYU. 4 on 3. Saunders on Buka. Kick to right.
So they missed the left corner.
Dibansa ready to sub in. Out of the corner. Quick load. Bošković misses that time. BYU, a ballooning lead. Haggerty finally snaps the drought. Almost 7 minutes without a made bucket for the Wildcats.
He is so tricky with the basketball. He's got the size and the length. These guys are a little gassed out here right now.
Davis deep three. He was closer to the Wildcat logo than he was the arc.
Yeah, he's a guy that Kevin Young really likes. Kind of a seal guy and gets right into the thick of things.
Aggressive drive, another foul.
You know, they got a little separation on the scoreboard, 38-30, but look at the threes. Catching it right in stride right there, a little bounce. And this long ranger. Comfort level is increased for BYU.
Foul before the break, Kennard Davis Jr., his first team 7th. Haggerty living at the line, short there. Dibansa, by the way, is 18. He reclassified from the class of 2026 in high school. He'll turn 19 near the end of this month.
Plays like he's 25 or 30 with the experience.
Such savvy awareness. His 6th point at the stripe for Haggerty, who's 14 overall. Now tie him with Dibansa for the game lead.
Probably won't see him drive to the basket that often with a double team out front. He's so long and quick with the basketball that he can stride by people and get it out of his hands. He has taken some time off the clock, 10 seconds left right now. So far, K-State's defense this trip has worked pretty well.
Saunders against Ike Garuka, 4 to shoot. Right, 2 to shoot. Has to hoist, puts it up at the horn. Short shot clock violation.
That was a nice second set just then by Johnson defensively. Jerome Tang giving him a round of applause. But Wright knew that he had to get this shot off. Watch when he gets the ball right now. There's 5 seconds left right here. Wright knows he has to shoot it, and so does Johnson. He stays right there and puts a hand up. Well defended, and it all started because of that 1-2-2 and a trap at half court.
BYU already matching its per game turnover average. That's double-digit turnovers, and there's 2 minutes to go in the first half. Johnson, grain of the lane tip. Keita holds the pivot.
Oh, they got a lob.
Oh, Dibansa, and Bošković couldn't handle, flips it to Buka. And Haggerty wants the ball here. He's been aggressive, going right to the rack. Euro, good lead. Ike Garuka, doorstep bucket.
Well, you're right on the money there, John, with his ability to slash through the open floor. He gets the fans back into it.
Probing dribble, Bošković off the up fake. Finds Saunders, hit, foul on Haggerty. That'll be his 2nd foul.
So watch him put the motors on. Right here, he goes towards the basket, brings defenders with him. Nice little layoff by Haggerty.
Now, Haggerty can't sit, right? He's got 2 fouls, but he is the lifeblood of their offense.
Well, you just look at the clock again, 1:40 left.
Dibansa's going to the bench.
Which I agree with that. And one of the reasons I agree with it is that they're at the offensive end shooting free throws, so he'd have to pick up an extra set defensively down this end and risk something.
March 1st, a new Casey Dutton journey begins. Luke Grimes stars in the CBS original Marshalls. Series premiere Sunday, March 1st on CBS.
Same thing saying for Haggerty. They got the offensive set right here, so keep him on the floor. And then we'll see what Jerome Tang does after this set. If there's a timeout, or not a timeout, but a break in the play.
Kansas State is trailed by as many as 8. BYU used a run around the midway point of the half to grab a firmer lead of an otherwise tight game.
There's a better hedge right there.
Haggerty floats it up. High kiss miss. Wright wins it.
Haggerty caught a shot to the head inadvertently.
He is wincing noticeably. It's a 5-on-4. Saunders for 3. Got it. This is the biggest margin of the game.
Yeah, the power play worked pretty well just then.
A Winter Classic in Manhattan. Timeout, Kansas State. We'll step aside and see if Haggerty can shake the cobwebs.
It doesn't matter whether it's inadvertent or not, it still hurts.
Haggerty is out. DiBonsa is out. Each has 2 fouls. High kiss make under a minute.
I like the challenge, too. You get a couple of possessions here, at least a 2-for-1. You get a stop right now. Maybe you come back. There's a 2-for-1 right here.
Saunders miss. Simultaneous possession, jump ball. It'll be BYU ball.
Kansas State goes quickly because they know they can get an extra possession with the clock. High off the glass to avoid that block. Then they go down the other way, and Saunders, that's one rip because they were looking for a 2-for-1 also.
And DiBonsa is back in again. They're going offense, defense?
On the offensive side, yep, that makes sense. And I'm sure he was instructed to stay clear of any over the top on an offensive rebound.
Right to him, he's doubled, opposite. 3 ball, Davis.
Wow.
DiBonsa wins it.
Kevin Young wants to pull it out just a little bit.
Opposite right, extra give, Saunders, quick load, in and out. Keita on the doorstep. And BYU screaming timeout. They get awarded it.
To get number 3 out of the game.
10-point margin, timer turned off.
At IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can get
BYU.
And you'll see it go to work right now with Keita doing his thing on the glass. A powerful guy, takes a little bump to begin with, but he gets that inside position to finish it off. So nice work too by Kevin Young managing this clock. Haggerty back on the floor. Bonsa off the floor.
Do you want one shot here?
Yep. Just get a breakaway.
Right to the rim, denied by Bošković. And now BYU,
Boy,
Kevin Young saying one shot.
Wow, did he get off the floor in a hurry and high on that one.
Bošković showing the pop in the spring.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected that.
4 seconds, right. 2 seconds, stripped. 1 second, no heave.
Yeah, stripped twice just then.
And Nate Johnson thought he might have had an easy path. Our top 10 in 3-point percentage. Kansas State has the ball to begin the second. Haggerty was woozy, had a bloody left nostril at the tail end of the first. It gets rejected by Keita. Thought he got hit. Loose ball, won by Saunders.
Keita's deceiving in there too, isn't he, with his length and strength?
Davis, transition triple, no. McGriff wins it. Haggerty snaps, funneling forward. Johnson off the pause, lost the handle, out of bounds.
Yeah, see, in his first 2 possessions here, that's a step away block where he continues to move his body, Keita, away from the defender, give himself some space and gets his hand on the ball. But we've seen 2 possessions so far with Kansas State, both times going towards the basket.
Manning doubled and hit.
By Keita, I believe.
That's going to be his second. Keita can be an elite shot blocker. He had 7 against Miami earlier this year.
He's only 6'8", too. Sometimes you think he's bigger than that.
Manning. Haggerty off the McGriff screen. The lead for Manning. Bashir, a sharpshooter, has been hounded all day. McGriff given the shot. Air ball, Manning. Timer at 6.
Little reach in back there by Davis, I believe.
He is their best defender. He's now got 2.
Yeah, the early success with the fouls. BYU with 2 of them quickly.
Johnson. Help comes DiBonsa. Nice smooth pass to Haggerty. Johnson on the smaller right, falling down. McGriff 8 to shoot. Spin move. Lefty rattles out.
Lucky they got a shot off just then. Could have turned that ball over.
BYU, conversely, has felt far more fluid offensively. DiBonsa is 14 from the first, co-leading the game. Great seal by Keita, but DiBonsa spins into a double.
He step. Yeah, he took a step. I thought he just, on that spin, they closed in, double-teamed him very well and very effectively.
That's now a career high 5 turnovers for DiBonsa.
Yeah, watch that double team. They just never let it go. McGriff 21, Johnson 34. Nicely done on the defensive end to recognize a scorer who could jump over both of them from that range.
already well exceeding their per-game average. Haggerty saw a seam, glides, reverse, oh, tough shot!
He knew he was going to have to reverse that with Keita waiting for him too. I like the fact a team that struggled from 3 in the first half, showing you a little bit of the drive and get closer to the hoop.
Saunders short.
We've seen about 4 possessions where they've done just this, trying to get to the middle of the floor.
All day, and a miss, weak side. It's won by BYU.
Nice look.
Saunders.
Whoa.
Bashir had it, loses it to Keita. Into Manning, trying to fight through.
That's a walk also.
Turnover again.
Yep. Saunders gets out in a hurry. Does somebody get a hand on this? I'm not sure if Johnson got a hand on that or not, but Saunders clearly lost it with trying to get 2 hands back on it and missed the layup.
But the only loss for BYU came by 2 points to UConn.
Right.
Kevin Young said what stood out most to him in the loss, he thought his Cougars played too fast.
There's a tendency to do that when you put up this many points.
Down the drain of the lane.
A lot of deflections by BYU defensively.
Right. Leads a little long, Saunders. Nice look to Keita, disrupted. Late help, darts in and knocks it out of bounds.
Bashir jammed his wrist on that play too. No argument from Kevin Young, and I think that was the correct call.
And Bashir is still clutching that left wrist, wincing in obvious pain.
Yep. Even though he's a right-handed shooter, we'll see if that affects him as he comes across the baseline screen.
Bashir.
Nice work there by Wright to follow him right across the baseline.
Buka wants it. Haggerty shielding. Pauses and sinks.
Great footwork. Just exquisite footwork to get himself not only into the lane, but use that free step to get it and put it up off the glass.
Keita floats it home.
That's where Wright picks up his 5 assists per game. Tricky with the ball, understands where to set his teammates up to make their life easy.
Nice pass, Bashir, baseline, fade away.
Left hand didn't bother at that time. This is what Kansas State needed, a little couple of buckets to go down and get the fans involved. So here's that step across right there. Well done in terms of splitting 2 defenders, a little 15-footer for Bashir.
Foul to Nate Johnson, his first. And to sub Castillo in. He never hit his greatest rhythm personally in that first half.
Yeah, I was thinking here too, well, maybe because of Bashir's hand, they want to check him out. But get Castillo in the game because he's an energy guy for them. He's a spark plug, makes things happen.
And a very capable outside shooter.
Absolutely.
Johnson, the cross court, nice behind the back.
Good recovery though by Davis.
Buka leaves for Johnson, who can shoot. Buka hard screen, offensive foul. That'll be his second.
Little quick to leave there in terms of setting the screen and rolling.
And Bashir getting that left wrist taped up. And it's Luke Sauber, alumnus of Kansas State, longtime athletic trainer. Even though it's the infancy of the second, it almost seems like each team's taking a breath and is just a little off. Keita.
Kick ball.
Kick by Buka. He's kicked a couple already today, timer to 20.
A World Cup action early.
Jerome Tang's squad seeking a signature win. It's been an up and down campaign. First time they've hosted a top 10 team in their conference opener in over a decade. It's when they took down Oklahoma State in January of 14.
Sear back on the floor, Haggerty out.
Lob to Saunders, Castillo giving up size. Debansa, up fake on Johnson, short. You can feel the frustration on each side, and the energy is peaking for the Wildcats. A half dozen difference. Program records for assists in a season. and on a per-game basis.
It's a big possession for Kansas State just to get some rhythm.
Bashir with a taped-up non-shooting wrist.
Get exactly what they want, too.
They just have not had it drop from deep. They have missed 14 of 16 outside.
Watch for the double team now. Here it comes.
DiBonsa opposite Saunders. In and out. Davis up top to right on high. Got it.
Nobody found Davis on the offensive glass. He's just too good and active to not keep an eye on him.
Jadar Davis Jr. came in from Southern Illinois. Kevin Young told us today he believes he's starting to figure it out. Good cut. Ike Garuka, forced pass, taken away. And Wright falls without possession, no turnover. Now a foul.
I think you're going to get him for just jumping on his back, possibly.
That's going to go on Haggerty as his third.
And here's Wright just setting it up after the Davis offensive glass. Now loose ball goes down. You were right, John. It wasn't possession, so it wasn't a traveling call. But you just can't jump on the body of the guy who has the ball on the floor.
So that third foul kind of is what it is, but there's 15 minutes to go. If a fourth arrives, that makes the math hard. BYU has had a 2 to 3 possession lead for a while now. DiBonsa up top to Saunders.
Likes to go right. You got to force him left. That's a grab.
Davis defended there by C.J. Jones.
See the difference when Davis puts it on the floor and really comes in aggressively at you? You almost have to backpedal, and then you keep backpedaling and you realize, hey, I'm right underneath the basket. He's going to get a layup. I just got to reach out and grab him.
He was a really capable shooter at Southern Illinois. He's just started showing that shooting form with BYU. Slap that, knocked free by Johnson. Castillo. Feed to Haggerty, lost the handle. Out of bounds.
They were looking for a call down this end. This end meaning the BYU end.
Lob entry.
Now we talk about BYU with their offense. Their defense has really been clamping down pretty nicely.
Jones shocked to be that open.
Yeah, I think it's part of the game. Get that ball into the paint area and then see what options you have after you get it to the paint. Have to get these fans more involved.
Davis to Ahmed. This game is this close in part because DiBonsa has 7 turnovers, a career high, more giveaways than makes. To Ahmed. Rejected at the rim by McGriff. Castillo on the run. You want the crowd? Haggerty. Rejected away. And here comes BYU.
Yeah, 2 opportunities just then after that great defensive effort again. Oh.
This will be a foul on McGriff.
You get some help. And watch the recovery right now for McGriff to come right back into the play after being pushed out just a little bit. Got that ball up high. But then Kansas State missed 2 opportunities down their offensive end.
Boskovic came to the table. DiBonsa hits. Join Nate Burleson, center square Drew Barrymore, and her wild crew of celebrity friends. A brand new season of fun and games. Hollywood Squares returns. CBS Wednesday streaming on Paramount+. Team fouls are already piling up some. That's 5 on Kansas State. That could aid BYU with a lot of time to go. DiBonsa's going to sub out. How does Kansas State find offense? The half-court offense has been ugly for long stretches.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we touched on in the first half, they love the transition game, and what's happening right now is there's pretty good balance by BYU not allowing that. Good backdoor cut by Castillo. So I think to continue to do what we've been talking about, test the paint, keep testing the paint. If you're going to spread the floor like that, you'll get some opportunities on the backdoor looks.
BYU's had the lead for over 20 minutes in this game, but DiBonsa on the bench again. Right on the turn, fouled.
Here we go, a little bit of delayed cut. Right, just a touch late getting back from the weak side and turn it into a weak side backdoor cut.
That foul to Nate Johnson, his second, team 6th. So the next foul is bonus for BYU with 13:20 to go in the second half.
And now you just start challenging the paint.
That's exactly what they did.
You have an advantage with a 6-2 foul advantage. You want to really condense the floor with BYU at this point.
Haggerty, explosive.
Nice help by McGriff just then too. Did you notice him blocking the lane and allowing him to go right to the basket? Good decision by both guys to complement one another.
Ahmed getting a lot of time. His second game at BYU, battled illness when he was first cleared. That slowed him some. Spent 2 years in the G League. Right. Tough angle, and Ahmed follows.
That's the smarts of Wright also. Bringing it to the glass. And right now, if you're Kansas State, you can't really afford to be reaching as much, just like that out front.
Foul to Ahmed, his second. Ahmed getting his.
Yeah, he turns the corner. There was a little bit of deflection just then by McGriff. Watch it right there. He gets it right before the glass. It kicks off in a friendly manner. Men find in the middle of the seam because McGriff left the middle of the floor wide open for him.
And for those wondering, yes, he played in the G League for the Westchester Knicks.
Right.
A G League player, if they're within a 5-year window of their high school graduation class, have not gone through the draft process for the NBA, have not signed an NBA contract, can play college basketball.
I believe you.
And he's showing that he can play college basketball too.
He sure can.
Buka. Pounded by Ahmed. That's another foul.
That's his second one in a row, just doing that with the reaching. I would ask the question, is Buka going to do anything when he's dribbling with his back to the basket 18 feet away? No, leave him be.
That's evening up the team fouls a bit with now 4 on BYU, 3 on Ahmed. Johnson finds Bashir.
Yeah, Bashir would love to get a couple of free looks, but they're just not going to allow it. Well, he's going to keep running off those screens and see what he can come up with.
6 to shoot. Castillo cuts closer.
Boy, is that ever a crossover? They keep challenging the paint. That's where they're going to get their numbers, and hopefully if it's closed down and they have to kick it out, maybe Kansas State gets back to their normal shooting of the three-point shot.
Right. Rim glassing in.
He makes good decisions, doesn't he?
Castillo just became the 3rd Wildcat in double figures with that last score. Johnson up for Buka.
Oh, he should have just dunked it if he could have.
Manning missed. Buka again fouled.
Well, Kansas State still hanging around, making it competitive. Nice work there by Castillo going to his left hand. And then Wright showing his smarts to get the roll.
With the new IHOP value menu.
Powert's lead, with him being the leading guy right there at Depanza. And I think one of the things is they complement one another pretty well. It's a tough conference to get through, though. You got to keep your legs underneath you.
Buka at the line, hits heel. He is a 65% free throw shooter. Foul before the break went on Mihailo Bošković is his second.
One thing to keep in mind, they are BYU. They're 10th in the country at second half scoring, averaging 47 points a game. They've had 50 points or more in 7 of their 13 games. So the comfort level in the second half is pretty good for them.
The highlight when they came back from down 22 to knock off Clemson. Debansa leaner missed, and Bošković trying to clean it up, misses the buddy. Able to tap it. Davis has it. Kennard Davis right at Buka. That'll be his 3rd.
Well, we've highlighted the fact that these two teams like to shoot the 3 ball and score. Now all of a sudden they've turned it into, like, let's get into the paint, mix it up a little bit, take advantage of these fouling opportunities.
And now Davis at the line. He was a 16.5-point a game man and an all-league Missouri Valley performer at Southern Illinois.
Only his 3rd free throw of the year. Now 2 of 3.
And last year he was more of a shooter and driver. He had over 100 free throw attempts. But he's elevated his competition level, his teammates, and has a new role.
Yeah, and 53 has 79 shots coming into the season, coming into this game have been 3-point shots, to your point, John.
That one's short.
That's going the other way.
Boskovic there.
Now we have 16 fouls for BYU.
So it's
7 for Kansas State.
going to be bonus rest of the way for both teams. Kansas State just trying to find some rhythm in the half court. Critical to that. They hit 10 threes a game. They've hit 2 in 16 attempts so far this afternoon.
Look at the perimeter defense, though, the way they're hanging. That's going to be an M1 if it goes.
That was off, and it was Boskovic who took the tumble on contact. He, in rapid fashion, has 4 fouls. So Castillo to the line. David Castillo, viewed as the point guard of the future for Kansas State. Went to Sunrise Christian, a national powerhouse. Went there for his senior year. He left as the #1 prospect in the state of Kansas. And he and Haggerty have been critical to wins and losses. Their individual numbers in Kansas State wins are electric, and losses are not pretty. Now fouls are mounting with bonus for both teams and individual concerns starting to round into focus. Another free throw missed. Ibansa's got it. Boskovic with 4. Ahmed got 3. Rapid fire. Buka and Haggerty have 3 apiece for the Wildcats. Right. Buka tried to help. Might have got a hand on that ball.
Kansas State is getting their hands on the ball, but not corralling it off the defensive glass. Wow, look at this turnaround.
Ibansa showing all the moves, and Keita right on top of Buka. This is the biggest deficit for Kansas State on the game. Buka down the grain of the lane. Manning rejected, counted.
They were going to challenge that, I think, and then they pulled Kevin Young back in.
Keep in mind,
yeah, does it hit the glass first? If it gets to that glass, you can't swipe it away.
and keep in mind the rule change with challenges this year on goaltending or basket interference. It must be called on the floor, and then you can challenge. You can't ask for it if it was not called. Ibansa. Keita opposite right on Castillo. Buka.
That's off the glass. So this is just a touch late. Yep. Maybe more than a touch.
Buka subs out. So Kansas State gets noticeably a little smaller. Their best offense has been just Haggerty driving, right?
Right, and I think they're better off being small right now with the way they have to get back into this game a bit, especially defensively.
Down the lane. High kiss. Miss.
And that was because Keita was a factor defensively just then.
Oh, BYU roars down the floor. Ibansa pointing to Davis, who backs in Castillo. Wave it off. Travel.
Everything but the bucket right here, but that's because he had to pull that ball just a touch when we're looking at that to hit our left, his right, and had to put a little extra spin on it because of Keita's defensive effort.
Gaudy turnover total continues to surge for BYU. That's kept Kansas State in the game. BYU has mostly outplayed the Wildcats, hounding their perimeter. Haggerty.
Really understand the scouting report, BYU, very well. He's got to shoot this now.
Bashir falling away, end line miss. Taken in by Manning. Castillo turns down the three that was wide open.
Yeah, I thought Manning had a shot too.
The tougher three, a miss. McGriff weak side, down to the floor, ripped away. Jump ball called. And the arrow was sent in for BYU. And the pace that was so crisp in the early stage has become so uneven for these two teams.
Because of the fouls. Fouls have slowed this really down. The first half, the pace, I thought the pace was great. And it was going to get to 80. It may very well still get to 80 on both sides. K-State has a ways to go on that. Free throw shooting, BYU has a little bit of an advantage, like 75 to 71% as a team.
Saunders, quick rip, a little long. The Wildcats' best pure shooters are Bashir and Castillo. Haggerty is their scorer. On the spin against Saunders. Extra give, Manning.
How about the decision by Haggerty too, though? He was going to go for that spin and look a quick layup, but the double team came very, very fast, and he was just patient enough to drop that off to the weak side. They basically need a stop right now for the K-State fans to keep them involved.
Queta lying in wait, right denies the screen. Euro on Haggerty. No, Queta follow, miss. They're going to count it.
Two shots, I think, maybe on the first one.
It will be two shots. We'll step aside, 7:34. Haggerty, the presence of mind, the willing passer. The Wildcats living in the paint. BYU cruising comfortably.
7 minutes of this game, getting into his rhythm, but then he's turned the ball over a bunch. 7 turnovers, and they've really clamped down on with double teams helping out. It's been very effective against them, but they're using that body to bump and score where he's very effective.
Scoring, yes, but giveaways, a career worst 7 today. And a lot of that coming with some physical duress. It is his first true road game. He's a freshman playing with a top 10 ranked team that's going to get the best of most others. Mom and dad, Chelsea and Ace, made the trip and watching alongside AJ's sisters. 7.5 to go. Queta at the line. Foul before the break went on Manning as his third. Bošković with 4 fouls to the table. He'll sub in. And he'll come on for Saunders. And BYU looking for its first 10-game win streak since Jimmer Fredette, 2010-11. They won double-digit games in a row twice that year, and that had been BYU's only team to make the second weekend, to make the Sweet 16 since 1981 until year 1 last year for Kevin Young.
Yeah, K-State could use a couple of Jimmer shots right now, the way he used to shoot that ball.
In the gym range.
Woo.
Queta short again. McGriff's size has been more impactful of late.
Yeah, that's a little thing too, getting that rebound off the defensive glass. Sometimes it kicks out like that, an offensive player will get a hand on it.
Haggerty initially a clear, now McGriff screen. Queta helps out. Bashir.
He missed McGriff. Missed him again.
Queta fell down. Haggerty. Johnson for 3. Short. And DiPazza's got it.
I mean, they don't have to make every single shot from 3, but they had to go a little bit better than 2 for 18, Kansas State. It's one of their trademarks and one of their really good strengths.
DiPazza surveys. Reversal. Bošković. Rainbow.
Well, he's given them a nice lift this afternoon.
Bashir at the other end, and this crowd is flat. The first sellout they've had of the season, it's nearly silent. Castillo, high kiss made.
Almost appeared like he was going to lose that ball for a fraction of a second. Good recovery. This is what maybe big screen up front there. Somebody's got to help him out.
Castillo still wincing. DiPazza against Johnson. Show left, drive right. McGriff on help.
See, whenever you have a great player like DiPazza, everybody wants a call to go against him. But let's see if there's a grab right here. Yep, they grab his right arm, and that's why the ball goes rolling off of the possession.
Well, the foul called on the primary man, Johnson, is his third. And it is bonus time, so DiBonsa at the line. Does have a couple of misses there today. But in his outstanding December just a couple of games ago, he had 17 made free throws in one game.
Well, the way he plays, and this is a team, K-State, that fouls a lot too, as we touched on.
Connects on the front end.
Had a little bit of a roll on that one. Good shooters do.
It just has felt like there's been a calmness and a confidence about BYU and almost an uncertainty with Kansas State. One of the top men in America getting to the line and hitting shots. Keita out, Saunders in.
The thing that I've been impressed with him also, and Kevin Young had mentioned this also before the game, he's just not a selfish player. I mean, think about it. If he tried to get 20, 25 shots up a game, what could he do? I mean, he'd put up huge numbers. Very effective and efficient with when he shoots.
Castillo missed, tipped, friendly fire by Bošković.
Yep, he sure did.
Well, the own goal, under 6.
Fans know how important this next minute or two is.
DiBonsa, Johnson goes under. Rattle in and one.
Well, when you look at him, once again, I mean, he understands how to get, he wants to get to that spot right in the middle of the floor because he knows he can get his shot off strong enough to hold on and get that bounce with the body and then finish it off with the soft touch.
Well, the foul to Castillo. So he's got 2. It's double bonus rest of the way. DiBonsa the and 1. Connects. He's got 20 to lead BYU. And a despondent bunch of Wildcat fans. This first game of the new year. Conference opener for both teams. And there, Bošković fouls out.
I guess you have to ask the question with a guy, once again, with his back to the basket, a big guy, McGriff. Why are you reaching over and coming down on top of him? That's probably one of the easier calls this afternoon that the officials have had.
Heightened because not only does it sacrifice his minutes, he's fouled out, but it's bonus for Kansas State. So you're gifting free throws.
Yeah, you get freebies.
Critical front end is a make. McGriff, a 67% free throw shooter. You have to figure, though, at some point, for Kansas State to make a real run in this game.
I know what you're going to say.
They got to hit a 3,
they
right?
Have to. Somehow.
EK Garuka in, Bashir out.
Give Bashir a little breather, and then I'm sure he'll be back relatively soon to heighten your point in terms of what they need from the threes. That's their man.
And it's just hard at this point to see BYU going off the rails offensively.
Right.
They're going to get some points. Hit them both. 10-point game.
So
Pressure.
Switch it up a little bit now again. They had some positive plays in the first half with the 1-2-2. Took a little time off the clock. And now you have to settle. This is where Wright's job is to settle his team down, take a look at it, and run a set. Will they double team him if he puts it on the floor?
DiBonsa one-on-one against Johnson.
He can jump over people.
He does that. Misses. Keita hit on the way up. That'll be McGriff.
Keita's been phenomenal on the glass, hasn't he?
Incredibly impressive.
And he's just on the offensive glass. He's been cleaning up a lot of the misses.
He's their leading rebounder, top 10 in the league. And he's also one of the elite in the country on the defensive glass. But you're spot on, because a lot of these second chances have come. He's just bullied men at times.
See how many rebounds he has?
Pretty good day. 16 boards. He's 1 point away from a double-double.
Yep. 8 and 8. Offense and defensive rebounding. And it's a bonus if he steps up and makes these free throws too.
Misfire, McGriff. Wildcats have misfired on their last 13 three-point tries. Their last made three came at the 15:24 mark of the first half.
Watch out. I thought he was going to go over his back. They were looking for a call against Caden. Jerome Tang is all over the officials. I think he did get bumped. That could have been a classic N1 opportunity.
Dibonsa on the spin. Crowd wanted to travel. He's able to hang and hit.
You know, Johnson anticipated that. He did his work on the scouting report for that spin, but it was the secondary spin that he couldn't catch up with. Nice
great pass. Oh, and McGriff dumps it home.
I think now what you're going to see is Jerome Tang is up here almost as if he's playing in this game. He's going to try to uplift his team, both ends of the floor. But that's one way to take the air out of it.
There's a third on Castillo.
They get exactly what they want down the middle of the gut. Nice hesitation. You pull Cade out of the middle. McGriff with timing it towards the basket. At this point, you're still putting a 76% free throw shooter to the line.
And McGriff to 10 points. He is the fourth Wildcat at double figures. Wright converts at the line. Give him 15. That's his first free throw attempt of the game.
And K-State with that 10 fouls gives them the double bonus. Whoa.
Ugly miss.
Yeah, pulled the trigger on that one, didn't he? Got to play a little faster now if you're K-State.
Haggerty heard that. And a whistle.
When I say play a little faster, the results there, you'll get to the line because you're pushing the ball up, but don't take fast shots. Get it up the court quickly. If you get a good look because of it, then take a first look that you get. But just don't say to yourself, well, we got to play fast and take the quickest shot, because that'll just play right to BYU's hands.
And foul to Dibonsa is his third. So 9 fouls on BYU.
75% free throw shooter at the line.
These are the last of the 1-and-1s. The foul concern. Bošković is already gone for BYU. 3 now for Dibonsa. Castillo, Buca, Johnson, Manning all with 3 apiece for Kansas State. Haggerty hits them both.
See Haggerty jumping at the line. He didn't think that was going to go in, I think. Here we go, full court now, 1-2-2 action. Look for a trap. And well-coached teams know how to break it. Watch out! Whoa! He was ready to crank that one.
Dibonsa, the quick score. Haggerty needs a response. Castillo. Down the lane, short.
See how they're trying to search out fouls right now with those drives. Just rushing a touch too quickly and forcing their shots.
Do you go deliberate if you're BYU? This lead, 3.5.
I think you just take time off the clock. Kevin Young standing to our right in that crouch position.
Saunders slips in.
A little delay of game call, I believe.
We have a timeout on the floor. Takeoff time for A.J. Dibonsa. BYU up a dozen.
Play against different teams' tempos defensively when they come at one after them.
Dibonsa looks like we'll pick up Haggerty full court. Johnson can run end line. One of the bigger differences in the game, BYU has out-rebounded Kansas State by 12.
Bashir back on the floor. See if he can get free for a look.
Bashir.
Just not giving him any room, right on his chest.
Puts up a tough shot, got it!
Wow.
That's a three! The first made triple for Kansas State since the 15-minute and change mark in the first half. Timeout, Jerome Tang.
Well, everybody in the building.
He has 16 rebounds today. Bashir has all 3 made triples for Kansas State. K-State just called a timeout, so it has 2 left.
You want to try to double team, but you don't want to put him on the line.
Wright floats it to nobody, out of bounds. Another giveaway.
Yeah, there's an opportunity now. Bashir back in on the offense-defense.
He trades spots with Ike Garuka, Kevin Young and company. Only 1 loss on the season. Came by 2 points to UConn. Now, Haggerty drew a slew of fouls early. Has not been living at the line to that same rate of late. Bounce's got him here.
Saunders has Bashir too. Here he comes around the baseline looking for double stack. Laid screens. Wow.
Bashir floats to McGriff. Lays it in.
Everybody looked towards the basket just then. With Bashir having it. Nice decision and well-timed McGriff with that cut. The fans recognize how important this stop is right here. See how BYU plays it out on the road.
He bounces it. Bleeding clock. Saunders.
Yeah, I was going to say he should get it back and make something happen with it. I think you're getting McGriff on this.
That'll be his 3rd.
So here comes the shooter, number 1, Bashir, but he realizes that he's covered and he waits for his roll. The timing, McGriff turns, holds his defender, Saunders, who is Bashir's defender, gets him on the screen and just roll to the basket. Nice decision.
Well, Cade's biggest focus in the offseason, get better at the line. 41% last year, 67 this year, but he has missed 3 of 4 this afternoon. And he hits the first. That gives him 10 points. He's now got a double-double. 10 points and 16 boards. He's the 4th Cougar to double figures in scoring. A high arc make. As long as it goes in, right?
You know, if you're BYU there, you will take two makes just then.
So now BYU +1 in points at the line.
And they get an opening to slide to the basket right here because everybody thinks they're just going to settle for a 3.
Bashir, corner triple. In and out. And a great board by Davis, chin and spin.
Boy, and Bashir was guarded very well just then, just to get that shot off with the quickness of that release. And this is where it's a coach's tough decision, where you're down 9 points with this amount of time on the clock. I might have chosen to start fouling, but you don't want to do it now, obviously.
Right. Misses. Johnson's got it. Reluctant dribble.
Need a quick hitter.
Off the McGriff screen. Driving on Cada. Tried to playground it. Out of bounds. It's going to be BYU ball. Now you got to foul if you don't get a steal.
No question about it. Yep.
Ike Garuka comes back in for Bashir. Russ back in, a career 84% free throw shooter, comes on for Cada.
Probably Cada's probably saying, hey, they just hit 2 in a row. But you obviously play the numbers and the percentages. Here's a good guy to get the ball too if they're going to foul him. Oh, Davis just got whacked. I don't think you have any choice but to foul here. You don't have enough time on this clock.
They're letting a lot of time leak away. Now the foul comes.
Yeah, you just waste, I don't know, 12 seconds or so on that strategy.
It looks like Cada will come back in.
Because when you have a guard like Wright, who's at the line right now, he's going to just nail his feet to the court at half court there until you make a decision to come get him.
He's a great representation of their scoring depth. He's the 3rd man in their big 3, the highest scoring trio in the country. He would lead over 200 Division I teams in scoring with his current numbers.
It's wild when you think about it. And he also adds 5 assists per game to the stat sheet.
Cans it. The last foul to McGriff is 4th. Precious time ticking. Haggerty right at Queta. Pins it, count it. 38.5. And for now, it looks like Queta is going to be the deep man, but stay on the floor.
Yeah, just keep it away from him. Kevin Young yelling to them that he can run the baseline if he needs it. Cut down on the ankles.
Knocked away, foul. A firm and immediate fist from our lead official, Doug Sermons. That'll go on Haggerty.
Well, let's take a look. I think he got the ball beforehand, didn't he?
It looked like he, yeah. That's going to be his 4th.
Well, they would have gotten the ball back because he deflected that out of bounds.
And they just showed that same replay. That's why you're hearing the boos.
Well, that's also why you don't hand out officials as giveaway trinkets to 11,000 people.
That could be a partisan group.
Exactly.
Oh, Bashir back in as a shooter. That's not something you can challenge to take a look at. In and out, batted. McGriff, feed Bashir. Castillo for 3. No. Weak side, Dibanza.
It's not been their day shooting the ball from 3. Jerome Tang's going to call it off. 3 at 21. Does Kansas State in on their home floor.
And credit to BYU, a top 10 team in the country, and their conference opener, they run their win streak to 10 in a row. The first double-digit win streak for BYU since 2010-11, when Jimmer Fredette took the Cougars later to the Sweet 16. Kevin Young and A.J. Dibanza have the Cougars 13-1. Our final score, 83.